Hi Mark, here are some questions for you from Nada Filipovic from Serbia.
Great, yeah. No, I'm always pleased to have a chance to talk to people in Serbia.
So the first one is, what does tolerance mean to you? How do you define tolerance?
Gosh, tolerance. I suppose I grew up learning about tolerance as being a very positive thing, in the sense that you kind of accept other people, other societies, other religions, other ways of doing things, and that you don't insist that your way of doing things or the way that you see the world is the best, really. I suppose there'd be another word that goes further than tolerance, really, which would be acceptance. No? Because some people talk about tolerance in the sense of, oh, I tolerate it, yeah, but you don't really like it and don't really approve of it, but you kind of put up with it. Whereas acceptance is for some people a much more positive word, in the sense that it's possible to live together, even though that you think differently about things.
The second question is, since you have visited Serbia more than a few times, what are your impressions on the level of tolerance? How tolerant is the Serbian society in your opinion?
Gosh, well, I go back quite a long time. I used to live in Belgrade 34 years ago. I was a student, and I went to the Institute za strane jeziki, lived in Ulice Majke Jevrosime, and this was the time of Yugoslavia, and we used to have lots of parties, and people used to come round to our flat, and there were people from Bosnia, from Montenegro, there were Albanians, there was a real mix of people, and I know things have changed a lot since then, and because of the wars back in 92 to 95, Yugoslavia no longer exists, and Serbia is there. I know Belgrade better than I know other parts of Serbia, although I have been to other parts. And I've always found Belgrade one of the more tolerant parts of Serbia. I think that the more urban a society is, cities, in a sense, in cities people accept other people a lot more. If you're in a small village in the countryside, then you stand out a lot more if you're different. And it's like that in Britain, that people who are a bit different and grow up in smaller places usually find big cities like London and Birmingham and Manchester much easier to live in than living in a smaller village where everybody knows everybody. So I've had good experiences at Belgrade, but I also see stuff like when there's football matches and people who it's happened quite recently, people making monkey noises at black football players when they've played in Serbia, and I think a lot needs to be done to challenge this and stop this.
So what about British society and tolerance? Do British schools have problems with bullying and antisocial behaviour?
Well, I mean, if you go back historically, I've just been talking about Serbia now, but Britain in the 1950s, when lots of black and Asian people came from the Caribbean and from India and Pakistan, there was a lot of intolerance towards people. There were also signs on shop windows, no blacks, no Irish, no dogs, It wasn't very good, but over a period of time and lots of legislation against discrimination, things have got much better now, and I think there are parts of Britain that are very, very tolerant. Places like Devon, where you don't see many black people. You know, it may be that there's less tolerance, perhaps. Yeah? But you know, the more you know people, the more you spend time with them, then you know, you get to know the fact that actually you can't just say all people are like this. You know, all Indian people, all black people, you know, all Croatian people. You know, you can't say that. You get to know people on an individual basis, and you realise that that kind of oversimplification is actually very you know, inaccurate and dangerous.
So what is your advice for Serbian schools, teachers and society? What are the best ways to tackle this problem?
Yeah, in schools, I mean, like in Britain, you know, there is bullying, people who are different, but schools increasingly have anti-bullying charters, which I'm sure you'll find out about if you do little projects on this, and these things are addressed when they come up. Of course, now with the internet, there's a lot of cyber bullying, which makes life difficult for people who are different, and it's just really important that in schools that both teachers and students are involved in projects to make sure that this doesn't happen, you know, or to create a culture of tolerance and acceptance.
Well, thank you. That was great. Thanks for the interview.
Good. Well, I hope that you know, you enjoy watching it, listening to it, and you know, if you have any questions to me, then you can find me on Mark Andrews, MAARK Andrews, ANDREWS @gmail.com, and I also work in Devon in Seoul in this organisation here, and one of the things that we try to encourage is diversity. There's a diversity festival in June, on June the 15th, where all different groups, you know, of non-white kind of English background will be coming together and celebrating, and you might have a look and find that festival on the internet. Yeah? So great to talk to you. Good luck with your projects, and if I ever come to Serbia again, it'd be nice to visit your school sometime. Thank you very much.
Great, thanks.